Well, folks, United, what can I say again? Absolutely nothing positive whatsoever. Absolutely shocking. Really shocking. I say nothing positive. Early on, although they went behind yet again, they competed more than in most games early on. You know, and we're going toe for toe a little bit and looked like they were trying. There was a bit more urgency up front with Xerxes there rather than Højlund. He was trying to close things down and getting involved. Højlund's not got involved for weeks. Xerxes, these last couple of games, has really got involved and impressed. But just woeful defending again. Shocking. And that Anana, he's just got to go, folks. He's got to go. Of all the marquee signings, he's got to be one of the first out the door. He really, really has. At 2-1, we're chasing the game. At 3-1, we know it's lost. And how on earth he palms that back into a player is absolutely beyond me. It really, really is. He's just got mistakes written all over him. Does some great things, some great saves. But he tempers it with as many mistakes. So you're not getting ahead of the game at all. Really, really poor. I'd say it's back to the drawing board, but I think Amarin's fed up of the drawing board because it's not working. It's really not. He said there's a lot more pain before it gets better. At the moment, I can't see it getting better. It's only a week or so ago after the Liverpool-Arsenal games I thought, wait a minute, we've turned a corner here. How wrong was I? How wrong was I? Oh my goodness, honestly. You just don't know when it's going to improve. You really, really don't. I'll give you one positive. The bit they did for DENIS LAW was positive, and at City as well. That's off to them. Well respected as it should be, an absolute superstar. Read something today about the lawman. It was saying Fergie, in the last few weeks of DENIS LAW's life, I think he'd been in a home, and Fergie was visiting him about 3 times a week, and I thought that's really good, really, really good. You know, you hear folk putting themselves out and doing a lot for Fergie, but you don't hear as much the other way, and I thought that was really nice. I thought to myself, I heard that coming home. I've been in Liverpool today doing a bit of work. I'm travelling home early afternoon. I thought to myself, Fergie is universally looked at as being the greatest manager ever. Well, more say it than don't. Obviously, there's people that'll disagree with that, especially Pep fans and Bob Paisley fans and Brian Clough fans. But at this moment in time, he's really, really lauded. And I thought to myself, who would Fergie rather have been? I know he was a centre-forward himself, and I know he was pretty good. I don't think he was ever right at the top of the tree. He was a bit like Brian Clough. Scored lots and lots and lots of goals, but nothing massive on the international front, the international stage. But the lawman, on the other hand, was revered as it said, the first Scottish Ballon d'Or winner, and to this stage the only Ballon d'Or winner. Scored lots of goals at United, absolutely adored by United fans, and I mean absolutely adored. And Fergie says he's greatest player of all time. It was his favourite player. And I thought, given the choice, who would Fergie rather be? I'm sure he loves all the kudos. He loves it when everyone tells him he's the best manager of all time and they pat him on the back. He must really, really like that, you know. He never sort of says, well, it might not be me. He's never modest with it. He never says, well, what about Cloughie? What about Paisley and Pep? He doesn't say that. He just takes it and he loves it. But I thought to myself, you give Fergie the chance to have lived his own life and been DENIS LAW. Who would he have gone for? And I was thinking to him on the way, I'm like, do you know what? I think he'd have picked the lawman. I think he would rather have been a great, great goal scorer for Manchester United, a record goal scorer for his beloved Scotland, and a player that absolutely everybody loved. I know this is supposed to be about United's game today, but I just thought I'd steer it to something a bit better. Read something yesterday. I've got another couple of pieces to read on the lawman. I've only got 4 or 5 that I've picked up, but I read a couple of pieces yesterday. I've got a couple to do. I don't know if you read the story. I thought it was a belter. Read a story there about Jackie Charlton. I think Paddy Crown or someone was saying a few stories about the lawman, and he said it was fantastic when he came up against Ron Yates. He said Ron Yates was the player that Shanks famously christened the Colossus, he said, and he was huge compared to DENIS LAW, huge. He said, but the lawman played and he was into Yates' ribs and everything, kicking at his heels, kicking at his feet. He said elbows everywhere. He said he gave him a torrid time, not at all afraid of Yates, and wanted to sort of, rather than be roughed up himself, wanted to give as good as he got to let Yates know he was there. He said, and he did give as good as he got. He said, and I'll never forget Jack Charles. He said, Jack, he said, classes himself as a friend of the lawman's, and Jack used to say, I hated playing him. He was kicking here, he was kicking there, there was elbows here. He wasn't afraid of anybody, regardless of size. He was a handful, and he was like Will-o'-the-Wisp, he'd gone before you knew it. Charlton said, he said, I thought he had him once. He said, the ball's coming over from out wide, and Dennis is ready to head it, and I thought, I'm having that. He said, and I stuck the boot out to kick it away. He said, and as I stuck the boot out, he said, I've caught Dennis on the chin, he said, and the ball's hit Dennis's head. It's gone in the back of the net. He said, I'm looking over Dennis, hoping he's all right, because there's blood everywhere. Dennis is knocked out and he comes round and he says, did I score, big man? It's in the back of the net already. Of course he scored. And he said, that summed up Law in an instant. He said, bravery personified. Absolutely brave as a heart of a lion, brave as a lion, whatever, heart of a lion. He said, really, really brave fella. Put his head on the line, no problem whatsoever. And I thought it was a great story. You know, blood everywhere, knocked out, and he had the wherewithal. First question to ask, was it a goal? And it was. Anyway, that's it. I'll leave it with you. It's just a pity we've not got other folk like the Lawman and Bestie and Charlton now, because we bloody need them. There's no doubt about that. Something's missing there. They need to get it sorted sooner rather than later, because it's not good to watch at the moment. It's not. Again, I heard today, what did he say early on? I think United, he said in one game this season out of about 17, 18 games, we've scored in the first 15 minutes. And he was also saying United have got a horrible record for the first 10 or 15 minutes for goals against. And there we go. Was it 9 minutes that Brighton got their first, or 6 minutes? Just as he said it, Brighton go and score, and you think, here we go again. And that's what happened. Here we go again. I don't know. Right, I'll leave it at that. I've whined on enough, haven't I?